it's your girl Stephcy, and here is Earshot Spread. Today we have in our midst a very special guest. But before we go and interview this special guest, let's go on a short break. And when we come back, it's still Earshot Spread. Good afternoon, Mr.Manasius. It's a pleasure having you here. We heard a lot about you and we are really pleased having you here. How do you feel being at Earshot Spread?
Oh, I'm most grateful for the invitation. More or less like privileged to be on this platform.
Thank God. But before we go deep into the conversation, I want to know, who is Mr. Manasius? When we talk about Manasius, generally, who are you?
Alright, so I'm currently a level 300 student studying podcast science and classics. An SRC President Aspirant, and I'm more or less like someone who wants to impact on the society that I find myself in. I want to impact positively. I want to give a helping hand. I want to solve the problems that I think I can solve that I want to.
So, if I may ask, before you came to this school, or let's say at your level 100, were you having this impact? Were you having this thought that this is what you want to do?
Alright, so way back even in level 100, I started giving a helping hand to anyone that comes my way, to my course mates, to my roommates, even friends that I just meet. I started having tutorials way back in level 100 for my course mates. During IEs, we meet up, and I take my friends through one or two things before the IE starts up. And then I've been even I pay people's school fees personally for them, and hostel fees as well. So this was even way before I even had the intentions of running for SRC presidency. Back in level 100, I never had the intentions of running for SRC presidency. It was just something I was doing out of a free, or something that is bound in me for me to do.
So, were you only helping students or including lecturers and TAs? Was your impact only based on students?
Oh, my impact was more based on students, but at some point I think I have helped lecturers in some way, because I've done research that was recognized by the Commonwealth of Nations, and that is in the marginalization of the Fulbe people in Ghana, and then the peace and stability in the northern Ghana. And this research has more or less like been recognized by the Commonwealth, and I think it's a great fit to the political science department as well.
Okay,
so I think I've
you were a Commonwealth member?
I'm not a Commonwealth, I'm a queer football member.
That's where you are recently?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But the research was recognized by Commonwealth of Nations, not
Nations. Oh, okay.
Commonwealth of Nations.
Okay. So what are you aspiring for?
So currently I'm aspiring for SRC presidency.
So if I may ask, when you were trying to help students with all these your goodies, did you come across any difficulties, any challenges, any problems?
Oh yes. We are in a human society, and then once you are dealing with humans, you are born to make mistakes, and definitely there is nothing that you will do that everyone will definitely praise you for it. Yes, so definitely there were some ups and downs, there were some criticisms here and there, in the sense that like you can't help everyone. Maybe like the fees payment I was talking about, I could pay about 3 or 4 people's fees for them. Then maybe there will be this one particular person who also needs the help, but I'm not able to offer the help, because at that point I've exhausted all what I have on me, and that person might not take it light. It will be like, how would I help the others, and he and me wouldn't get the help. In times like maybe tutorials and stuff, sometimes I can do tutorials for some people, then I'll be tired. The next group of people, I might not be able to do it for them, and they will not take it light. And in human society, it's bound to happen. So I see it to be part of life. I see it to be more or less like a learning process as well.
And did you accept all those challenges how did you accept all those challenges? All those, I don't know if you came across mockeries or any, I don't know how to put it, but how did you accept all those challenges when you came here?
Oh yes, so someone like I've always seen that there is no life without challenges. Every life comes with what challenges, and if you want or you aspire to be a greater person, you need to be what? You need to be prepared for what? Challenges. And even the Bible says that you will definitely face what challenges, but he will take you or he will show you how you will overcome those challenges. So I'm someone like, I'm very prayerful and I'm mindful of, like, I always take everything into what? Into prayers, and then I see those challenges as a stepping stone. As it encourages me more, because once I flop in something, it's more or less like a homework for me. I have to go back, sit down, then better up for next time.
So if I may ask, are you the introvert type or the extrovert type?
This question is kind of, I can say more or less I'm extrovert somehow than introvert somehow. It depends on where I find myself. Sometimes I'm extroverted and sometimes I'm introvert. So it depends on the settings that I find myself in.
So if I may ask, do you have lots of supporters? Do you think where you are okay, like knowing the kind of people who back you? Do you think you can move forward with all these people?
Yes, there's one thing I really believe in, that it's not about the number of people that are shouting or are rooting for you, but the loyal people behind you. And I believe that even if you have just one loyal person behind you, one loyal solid person behind you, you will go far in life. So I'm not really bothered about numbers or the multitude. All that I seek for is what? Is loyal people. And when I check within my circle, I see these loyal people. I know that I have people that I can rely on. I have people that in times of difficulties I can turn to. Yes, so I see that with these people, I can definitely go far in life.
Okay, so the rate of like 100%, how sure are you that you win this position?
Per my calculations and analysis, I think I'm going to win this election with a 62% victory. Yes.
So if you, by God's grace, if you are to win this position, what will you do? Is it more you add to your goodies, like the good things you do, or you are just going to stick to your plans, just that?
Okay, so basically, going into this election, my number one policy is the free shuttle system. The University of Ghana students, we are being burdened day in, day out, in the sense that the few money that is being given to us as feeding money or an upkeep money, we end up using those money for what? For transportation. Yes, and if you check those the students at the diaspora side, coming to lecture halls is much more difficult, so they mostly tend to rely on on the shuttle system. And in a week, they spend not less than 60 Ghana cedis just on shuttle alone. You do the calculation by 4 weeks in a month, you see the amount you are arriving at. Yes, so most students are spending a lot on the shuttle system. So it is my topmost priority that when I come into power, inshallah, I'm going to bring the free shuttle system. And it is something that I've given my assurance to people that it's not just a political talk. Because going to elections, people normally see that politicians come up with political talk. But it's not a political talk. So as a matter of such, last week Tuesday, I personally made a commitment, my personal commitment. I went to diaspora. All the shuttles that ran on last week Tuesday, they were paid for by me. So last week Tuesday, all the shuttles that were running on campus were actually paid for by me as a personal commitment to that policy that I want to bring on board.
I like your dream. I really like it. So talking about your impact, what you will do, are you only having main campus in mind, or that's your city campus too?
Alright, so with the free shuttle system, it's not only going to benefit main campus students, it's going to benefit city campus students and even the non-residents. We have this advantageous point that we know that these areas, this is where most of the hostels are. If you take some place like Adenta, that most hostels are there. You take Atomic, that you know that there are a lot of hostels there. If you take Firestone, that you know there are a lot of hostels there. And we take Congo, there are a lot of hostels there. So we can station these buses at these advantageous points, so that maybe maybe 7 o'clock a.m. these buses will be there to convey students to lectures. So by 7 they will move to campus. So that those who have 7:30 lectures can attend. Then those who have later on lectures, they can hang around. They can be at the Bible library or anywhere with their friends. So they have lectures. They will know that the last lecture ends at what? At 7:30. So by 7:30 they should still be buses that can convey those people those advantageous points that they pick them at campus. And then with the city campus students as well, there are buses here that go to city campus the early morning and it comes in the evening. We are still going to make provisions of those buses, but just that those buses are going to run free for them, so that they also benefit the free shuttle system. And then I think it's about time that all the satellite campuses have a share of the university's cake, because I think more or less the conversation has been narrowed within the main campus alone. But I think it's about time that the medical school, the distance education, the city campus, and all other satellite campuses of the University of Ghana, they need to all benefit. It's the University of Ghana SRC. It's not the University of Ghana main campus SRC. So they are all part of the SRC. They all constitute the SRC, and we are all paying the same amount of what SRC dues.
Okay, so from the graveyard, I heard that city campus students are not allowed to vote. Is it true?
It's not true. City campus partake in University of Ghana voting. Medical students partake. Distance students partake. So every student that is enrolled under the name University of Ghana qualifies to take part in the voting.
And are they allowed to be voted for?
Yes, they are allowed to be voted for.
So please, do you go to city campus to, do campaign?
Yes, I've been there once, but hopefully I will start my intensive campaign there next week actually.
But when is the voting day?
It's July 18th. It's the July 18th.
Okay, and then the voting period.
So normally it's a day thing from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's the normal time in previous years. But I don't know if this time around the EC is going to change it. But the EC hasn't yet got an official communique to that effect. But I'm only speculating based on previous records.
Okay, so your position right now, how many people are fighting for it?
So currently I think we are about 12. I think 6 of us are from one department, which is the political science department.
So, do you know of any city campus student that is going for such position?
No. With the names I've heard so far, there's no city campus students in it.
But some city campus students are coming for some of the positions.
I think I saw one city campus lady, but I'm not sure of the position she's going for. But I saw her flyers. I said BJ is come, but I was not sure. Like, it was not specified on flyer which particular position she's going for.
Okay, so there is a rumor that a lady at city campus wants to fight for presidency here. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I saw a flyer of a lady's name for city campus, but on the flyer it was not specified that she's contesting for herself. Whatever, she is coming.
But is it even possible?
A lady, it's possible. Last year, a lady contested with a guy. She viced a guy, Linda. Her name is Linda. She viced Curtis. Yes, and we were part of the top 3 contenders of last year's election.
Okay, it's actually funny. I learned city campus students, when they fight for positions here, they don't get it. Most of the presidency or the executives are all from main campus. Is it true?
Oh, I don't actually have records of city campus students contesting for this general election, so I can't speak to that effect. Yes, but I'm not sure there should be such biases. Or if the person is qualified, the person is a city campus student, the person is qualified and up to the tax, then I think the person should be given the mandate. But if the person is also losing an election, maybe it could be not issues of bias, but it could be that the person didn't do the groundswork on main campus well. Because main campus is what is fast. So at least you need to be on main campus to also be able to campaign well. Because you can't just be at city campus and you expect to win main campus. Just like we those at main campus here, they also expect to go to city campus and also campaign there as well.
Okay, so do you have a close relationship with the the position you are aspiring for right now, is someone still using that position, or the person is now a former?
Okay, so currently the person is still, I think their tenure hasn't yet ended. It's an academic year, so their tenure will end when they are done with school. So that is when we are being voted in, when they are even elected until they are done with school, then they will hand over to us.
Have you ever been to him or her for any advice?
Oh yes. Day in, day out. I go there for advice, and it's not just me alone. They are open and welcoming to every aspirant. Most of the times I go and meet people there, and people also come and meet me there. So I think they are open for every aspirant. Yes.
So before I forget, let us know your code for your election.
Alright, so basically it's going to be the same. It's not going to be voted with codes.
Okay.
It's going to be an email that will be sent to our student emails. So it will be a link that will be sent to our student emails. So once you just tap on the link, it will take you to the site that will be voted. So you just have to log in with your student ID and your PIN, then you cast your vote.
So what about those that their emails are not active?
So those that their emails are not active, they are supposed to go to UGCS to get it sorted out.
As you heard, here is Mr. Manasius. I encourage all of you to vote for him as position again. As SRC President. Okay, so back from the break, and we still have Mr. Manasius here. Okay, so let's continue. So Mr. Manasius, do you have any word for students, especially level 100s, who have these challenges and are planning on stop school because of these challenges? Do you have any words for such students?
Oh yes, I'm actually having words of encouragement to all those students. Yes, this is life, and it might not all be rosy. We all face tough times, but those tough times doesn't mean you should give up. It's only more or less like an encouragement to you that you should rather fight hard, and that once you become successful, you can reminisce on those hard times. And then I will aid those students. I will give them guidelines as to how to go about in terms of if you are having difficulty in paying your fees and stuff. We have the SRC President scholarship. The SRC actually has about 2 scholarships that is being run. Then there is also the student loan that is there. So the student loan, that is, all you need is a Ghana card and then your e-switch card. So once you just have a Ghana card, all you need to do is go to any bank and say you want an e-switch card. I think it costs just 15 cedis. Then the application is just free. You just go to online, just search SLTF. Then you just see it there and just enter them with your Ghana card and then your e-switch number. Then you just start with the application process. Yes.
Okay.
So they will be able to get money from there. Other than that, too, they can still seek help from their course reps or any executive on campus that they think they can confide in. Once you just reach out to that executive, if the executive can't, he or she personally can't help, what they will do is that they will ask for your permission if they can screenshot like your conversation of you asking for help and put it on that status and ask for help. Most of the times we've done that, and then at the end we were able to raise funds for people like that. So if you find yourself in such instances, feel free, just approach anyone you see that the person might help. Even if the person can't help personally, at least the person know 1 or 2 people that he can reach out to that might be of help to you. And then those having difficulties with their studies, yes, I know the university studies and then our way of studying back at SHS is way different. Yes, so you just need to adjust yourself. You need to make more use of group studies, because in the university group studies is very important. Yes, so we need to make use of group studies, because what you know someone doesn't know, and what someone knows you don't know. once you go for the good studies, you will have a round table discussion. So you bring all ideas on board, and it goes a long way to help. Sometimes when you have this off-site IAs, don't sit in your corner and say you want to do it alone. Team up with friends, have discussions before you do it personally. It will help. If you have an assignment you don't know, don't be too shy to ask for help. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your colleagues. We are all learning. It's a learning process. No one is better than anyone. Yeah, so once you don't know something, don't be too shy to ask for help. Reach out to your friends, colleague. Oh, this and this and this. They will explain it up to you. Then you go up with it.
Okay, so about the students' loan, how active is it? Because many universities, they are having problems with it. So how active is Legon students'
All right.
loan?
So actually, with the student loan, actually, it's a general problem everywhere. Especially this very year, this very academic year. I think the payment of the first semester loan actually delayed a bit, and it was a nationwide problem that the student loan actually had. Yes, they were like they've not yet received funds from government to disburse, but I think later on when they got the funding, they disbursed the funds. So once you've applied, you definitely get the money, but maybe the time frame that you might need it might beat you a bit. So sometimes we encourage that maybe once you are relying on that money, you can take loan from somebody, then sort it out your issue. Then once the student loan comes in, then you make the payment to whoever you owe.
Okay, so some students are crying about the release of exams timetable of late. They are saying that they are not even done with the IAs. Now they've released the exams timetable. What do you say about that one too?
Yes, I know. Approaching IA week and then timetable is already released. I know it's more or less like pressure to students. You are throwing pressure to them, but I think it's just once the timetable is being released that way, at least it's also a wake-up call to every student to know that exams is fast approaching. Because even you are waiting for maybe 2 or a week to exam time before releasing the timetable, you will not have enough time to study. But once the timetable has already been released this time around, we are consciously reminded that exams is just some few weeks away. So whatever we do, we need to have time for our studies. So I think management is a deliberate and intentional act by management, not to scare us, not to panic us, but rather put us on our toes to study ahead of the exams.
Okay, so there are some students that if they are given assignments or any exam, they pay for other people to come and write for them. What do you tell such students? What do you have to say to them?
In the University of Ghana, they believe in integrity. Integrity is one thing that the University of Ghana really holds to the high esteem. And I think paying people to do your assignments or examination for you is a zero tolerance in the University of Ghana. And once you are caught in such acts, I think the university is going to take you through the due process. You might feel the disciplinary committee, and then they'll met out the punishment that you deserve. Yes. So what I would rather encourage is that once you have difficulty with the assignments or this thing, reach out for help, like for explanation. Rather get explanations rather than paying people to help you, because it's better that you understand whatever is being done rather than letting people do it for you. And moreover, what is the assurance that those people that you are even paying them to do their work for you will even end up doing it well? As last semester, I saw something training online that they paid. One of the mass courses, they paid people to do their work for them, and those that they scored 4 out of 50. People that they paid them 300 cedis to do IA for them, and ended up scoring 4 out of 50 for them. So those people that are even paying out your money to, what is even the assurance that they are going to score the best grades for you? Yes.
Okay, so some students are complaining about hostels here. What do you say about that?
Yes, so with the hostel or with accommodation, that is the University of Ghana, is one of the University of Ghana's biggest problems. And then I think SRC actually in a way is making plans towards that in regards of the SRC hostel project. SRC wants to come up with a hostel project, which is also part of my plans that once I come into power, I'm going to lobby for funding so that this SRC project can be fasting or can be quickened, so that at least the number of non-residents can be reduced. And then I think the way forward is that what SRC can do is to partner with these private hostels around, because students coming from far places from Accra, a student like me coming from all the way from Sombrong in Bolga in Upper East region of Ghana to Accra, the University of Ghana, I'll get here. I don't know anywhere in Accra, and if I happen not to get accommodation on campus, I'm now being forced to go outside Accra, go within Accra, go and look for accommodation in Accra. Where do I even know? A student from me coming from all the way from Bolgatanga, where do I know in Accra? How am I going to find myself in Accra? That's how most students are being scammed during that period, because every student is eager to get an accommodation, and most of them don't even know Accra well. So how are they going to get those hostels? That's how come they are being scammed. So I think the way forward is that SRC should partner with those private hostels, then they'll add them up to the applications portal. They just campus accommodation. What you have is that we have a portal that you apply and get it. So I think SRC can actually partner with those private hostels. We add their database up onto the accommodation portal, so that every students can just right from the comfort of their homes, they can apply for those hostels. Once they get it, once they just reach campus, they know this is the hostel they are going to, rather than now going to see an agent, seeing a middleman that they are being scammed here and there.
Okay, so city campus students are crying because they believe that they are not being treated fairly. Why is it that they will pay much of the school fees? Because unless their paying of school fees is much more than what main campus students they pay, and then they are not even allowed to go for any of the traditional halls on campus. Why is it that? Do you think you have an explanation to that?
No, this topic is much like a delicate topic. I don't think I have fair idea on that, and I even if I have an idea on that, I beg your pardon, I beg not to speak on it.
Respect
yes.
that.
I think it's a management level issue. Yes.
Respect it. Okay. Thank you very much. What do you have your final word to your viewers, your fans, and your cherished people?
Okay, so my final words to my viewers is that just like she stated, my name is Mr.Manasius SRC, an SRC Presidential Aspirant, and I will encourage you all to come up in your numbers to support me. It's about time that we build an SRC that is bring policies that is going to impact the life of every student positively. Not just an SRC that is going to organize symposiums and give us free food. We are bigger than free food. We are bigger than item 13. It's about time that we build an SRC that is going to lessen the burden on students, that is going to actually impact on the real lives of students. So I think the right person to man up this mandate is me and no other person. So I will beg on all of you to come out in your numbers and support Manasius, the team AMA. It's about time that we take charge of our affairs. We are paying dues, we pay SRC dues, we pay developmental levies. SRC is rich. We are capable of bringing this free shuttle system I was talking on board. Yes, and it's about time that we also bring about this electronic verification during examination. Most of the time during examination, that is, we get to the exam centers, we are being forced to bring our ID cards. Some of us forget the ID cards at home. We are forced to go and print temporary IDs. By the time you come, we've even forgotten what we've learned. Time is fast spent. But with the biometric verification, you just use your thumb, verify, and go and sit down. I think the world is advanced, and the University of Ghana, as the premier university in Ghana, needs to also advance. So it's about time we upgrade to the biometric verification system as well. So there are this and many more policies that I'll be bringing on board. So I urge you all to rally behind Manasius. Let's make the University of Ghana SRC great one more time again. Thank you.
As you heard him, please don't forget to vote for him. And here is your short spread. Don't forget to follow us on our various media platforms. Here, short spread, entertainment at your doorstep. Thank you very much.